Hey, this is Jim McDonald. Welcome to episode 223 of the PowerCast. This episode was recorded last week on 9/11. It didn't have anything to do with 9/11 except Mark mentions it at the beginning, and a little bit of inside super training information is that one of our former members and still a friend of ours, the guy actually who holds the 220 multiply squat record for the gym, lost his dad on 9/11, and it really changed the course of his life and so many lives since then. So every time that 9/11 rolls around, it has a certain special significance to all of us who've been around super training for a while, and now you know. This episode, however, by contrast, is actually a fun one. This episode is with Stephanie Sanzo. She's the Australian Fit Mum, and she is absolutely delightful. We had a fun time talking to her. I'm sure you'll enjoy it too. Just roll with it. It's a good one. Like and share this episode. We'll be back on Friday with another episode of the PowerCast, and I think it's one I've been holding back for a little while. That is a little bit of a sequel to the Mike Ryan episode. I think that's the direction I'm going to go. So join us again on Friday.
Support for this episode of the PowerCast comes from Precision Nutrition, home of the world's top nutrition coaches. Head over to get.pn/PowerCast for a free nutrition course, especially for PowerCast listeners, focusing on the role of carbs. That's get.pn/PowerCast. Reebok.com from September 15th through September 21st. Use the code PowerCast and get 25% off. Some exclusions apply. 8-Man Apparel at 8manstrong.com. Compex Muscle Stim products at CompexUSA.com. Use the code PowerCast for an additional 28% off all but the lowest price model. HowMuchYouBench.net. Use the code PowerCast for 15% off slingshots and free shipping on orders over $100. And bodybuilding.com, the world's largest fitness website and supplement store. Bodybuilding.com has free plans for every level. Visit bodybuilding.com today to become your best self.
Recorded live in West Sacramento, California, this is Mark Bell's PowerCast. Standing just to the left of Jim McDonald, here's your host, Mark Bell.
Today is, unfortunately, a shitty day, no matter what we do. We're just stuck in a shitty day because today is September 11th, and that's just the way it goes, right?
So whatever day you're listening to this, we're on September 11th.
Yep. We don't know when this episode will come out, and we don't know
Not yet.
what's surrounding it, but all we know is that we're here now.
We're here right now, yes.
But we don't know what happened before.
No.
And we can't be responsible for anything that happens afterwards.
No. I was sharing earlier that one of our earlier guests was keeps asking me when his episode's going to air, and I stopped responding to him, but I think that my answer in the future is going to be just magic 8-ball responses, like uncertain at this time, or check again.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're so generic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You could also give him a date, like to check back in a month. It's like such a long time.
And drop it in between there and just not tell him.
Remember, Cena's advice was take 2 weeks off and quit.
Yeah.
He said he gives that advice to people for everything. So you could tell Tom that. You could say, hey, bud, why don't you just take 2 weeks off? He won't know what you're talking about, but that'll be good.
And quit, yeah.
All right, well, just got a little mini pump session in, and we have a special guest here today. We actually have a female on the show, which I'm, quite openly opposed to. We don't normally do this, so this is really changing things up quite a bit, and I apologize to all you guys out there who've been just swinging off the dicks of us powerlifters for a long time. We now have an actual female in the house. I don't know how the crowd's going to respond.
I don't know either.
They could be like in a frenzy, or they could be like against it. I guess, right?
Yeah. We could have chair matches developing in the audience.
So we got Fit Mom here today. Stephanie, say hello.
Hello. I hope that there's no haters and I'm welcome.
You can step a little forward for me.
Okay. I'm not loud enough. I get
There
that a lot.
you go. You're
People
good.
always wonder what I'm saying.
People can't tell what the hell you're saying because of the Australian accent. Is that what's going on?
Well, apparently, and just because I'm little and they can't see me. So,
Well, we took care of that.
yeah, I'm on a step. A couple, actually. I'm not going to lie. There's like 3 or 4 down there.
Yeah, we had to boost you up a little bit.
Yeah.
As I told you, though, it's sometimes guys, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not just girls that have to stand on the
We had some
platform.
world champion fighters propped up over there. before.
Yep.
Wow.
It's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of diversity with the? I know it doesn't seem like you have an accent, but is there a lot of diversity within that Australian accent, like there is here in the United States? Like somebody from Massachusetts and somebody from New York and somebody. Is it like? Because I know Australia is enormous.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like,
Do you have people that you can't understand that have an Australian accent?
it depends. Well, I don't want to use the W word, but I'm going to because I legally can because I am half of it. But wogs. So I'm half Italian, and the wogs can sometimes be really fluent with their Australian accent. But
Sounds
they're-
like people from like the Game of Thrones or something.
Yeah, it
doesn't
does. Yeah.
yeah, they're like, "What you doing, bro?" Like that, and they speak
they
really
say
like
real
fast,
fast.
and so I feel like with wogs sometimes I can struggle to understand, even though I am one. So, and just so you all know, you can't call a wog unless you are a wog.
We
Note to
understand.
self.
We have Mexicans.
I think there's one in the room too, but we won't go there. Oh,
I don't know how this happened, but Andrew is like figuring out ways to multiply. I don't know what's gonna happen next.
yeah.
How did you get involved in fitness? Like where did some of that start?
Okay, well, let me think about it. It's going to get raw. We're going to get raw today. So
Okay, so there was a baby kangaroo on the side of the road. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I do eat kangaroo, by the way. Don't think that's grotty because that's what we do in Australia.
Well, I think you need to. I hear
Well,
the
when I-
population's exploded in the last
Yeah.
like 20 years.
They fuck like rabbits. I heard.
Yeah, they have like 10 million more kangaroos than they did
Jesus.
10 years ago.
Yeah, there's something going on. So we are eating them to try and space it out.
I
But
went to Australia.
did you have kangaroo?
No. I kept telling people I wanted to see the kangaroos, and they're like, "Fuck kangaroos! You don't want to see kangaroos." I was like, "No, I want to see." I kept asking different people, like, "Kangaroos are stupid. You don't want to see them. They're a pain in the ass."
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, I want to see some kangaroos." So in Australia, I had to go to the zoo to see a kangaroo.
Oh,
I felt gypped.
on some of our back roads, they're on the road dead.
Yeah, on
So
the
you
dead.
could have, yeah,
Seen a couple.
for free.
Are they annoying?
Are they annoying? I haven't run into one personally,
Oh, okay.
but I have seen them dead. Just haven't. I haven't been to the zoo to see a live one.
It must
So
be a lean form of protein, right? I mean, it
it's
must
very
be a
lean.
pretty-
Yeah, I don't
don't-
think the ones on the side of the road are too lean, but I think the ones at the supermarket are.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to get diseases and try to cook it up myself the Aussie
Exactly,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Roadkill cookbook.
yeah. Could bring that out, make
How did
some
this
money.
fitness thing happen?
Oh, back to the.
Yeah, since
sorry.
we distracted
You
you.
got 3 minutes.
Derailing. Okay, sorry, it's a longer story than that, but we'll go there. So, how do I put this? So I was working in like management, like with Cotton On and like all that crazy retail stuff, and then I fell pregnant, and after that, yeah,
What the hell?
I know my mum was so mad, but So anyway, coming from a religious background, that was very hectic on my life. But yeah, so
So you were working, and then all of a sudden,
to my partner, but like still being religious, that was like a no sex before marriage kind of thing.
oh,
So
it didn't happen at work.
yeah, I tried to say it just happened. And I was still a virgin, but she didn't believe me. So no, it didn't happen at work. Hold. No. So it happened, the day I moved to Geelong, where I'm from, because I was in a smaller country town than that. And then I couldn't do what I wanted to do with work because it was a lot of traveling and stuff like that. So I decided that I needed to use my brain after having the child and restudy. And there was a PT course going on and it was for free. So I studied it and I hated fitness. So
Free is always the right price.
I know, I love things for free. You don't have a lot of things for free here.
Only
unless
the
you-
gym.
The gym?
This gym is free.
Well, I did train here today. I trained and then you made me train again.
Yeah.
And that was hectic. I was like coming out here for some water. I could smell food. I saw your hands. You're like, over here. I'm like, no. I'm done. But yeah.
Trying to run away.
Yeah. Yeah. So where was I? And then I studied fitness and I loved it. And then I fell pregnant again.
Uh-oh.
That's why I'm the fit mum. Good at making babies. So
Fell pregnant.
yeah. So that one was
Wait a
planned. Sorry.
He's going to ask you what you fell on. I can just, like, I'm reading his mind and
I
Very
became
confused.
pregnant. And yeah,
Just
so it just happened. That's right. Nothing sus. And yeah, so basically this is where it gets really very personal. Excuse this information
okay.
for the males that don't want to hear it. But I ended up prolapsing my bladder after the second child.
Oh.
And all I did was run, and I couldn't do running anymore. So that's where the weights came in. And it kind of, I started to get just biceps like we did today, just
Yeah.
the pump. And I loved the pump, and then it just went from there. Yeah. Fell in love
really
with the
cool.
pump.
How'd you get into powerlifting?
So I was doing the pump and a bit of running, and then I met my partner, and he was a powerlifter, and I worked at his like powerlifting gym. And it kind of, he made me like first up. Like one day I was just like doing bicep curls and stuff. And he's like, oh, you should squat. I'm like, I don't squat. And then he put like 100 kilos on the bar. And then like everyone was around, and then like everyone was spotting me. I didn't know what I was doing. And I did a squat, and it was like little. It was
That
probably,
progression happened really fast from him telling you that
guess
you
he saw
have to squat to him back spotting you. That,
yeah.
Well, to 100
he's
kilos
like,
too.
you're
I
going to
mean,
squat, you're going to need a spotter.
Yeah. It was shocking. And
I like his moves. I like it.
yeah, I guess when people see potential. But yeah, it was a mess. But it went from there, and he just talked me into it. You can't be around people that do this and not do it yourself. You become like the people you hang around, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's how I fell into it personally.
that's how it happened to me. I didn't get pregnant though.
Yeah, they
goodness.
say you hang around a barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut.
That's right. Yeah.
How did you, how did you, what were some like misconceptions you may have had about weight training before? Because you said you didn't really like it. The only thing you really did was run.
Yeah.
So did you have like misconceptions of like what it would do to your body if you lifted, that kind of thing?
No, I was just lazy. Like, honestly, I was like, if I'm going to go to the supermarket, park next to the door, less work, the better. So that was my reasoning. But as I moved into weight training, because I was like a cardio girl, get lean, get cardio, whatever, I was really scared of getting bulky and like, getting like a man, looking like a man. To like, and being a fat powerlifter, like a lot of fat's a really harsh word, isn't it?
No, it's fine.
Like an overweight
we
person.
say fat power.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Well,
More guys should be afraid of becoming fat powerlifters. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, powerlifting, it is a sport of strength, and you are trying to maximize what you can do.
Yeah.
And there's many different ways of getting strong.
Yeah.
For some people, they just choose to, get bigger, maybe via the route of like a Jesse Norris, who is muscular, or like your husband, he's muscular. He probably doesn't weigh a lot, but the muscle is still helping with being able to move some weight. And so some people choose that, and then some people are like, you know what, I'm going to do a little bit of both. And they gain some muscle and they gain some fat. And
Yeah.
end up being a big fat powerlifter.
yeah. Well, I guess like what you're saying, it's like it's trying to have the best of both worlds. We want to be strong, but some people still want to look aesthetic, I guess. And then there's other people that just want to be strong and they don't care. They just want to be strong, eat. So I'm somewhere in the middle where I like to still feel like I can wear a dress and still look
Right.
kind of feminine, and jeans and get them over my quads, which aren't working really well for me at the moment, but I'll get there.
Do you do anything specific? Because I know, like, with powerlifting, I think women still will feel like their waist might get thick, or they might not have the aesthetics that they want from like lifting heavy. So, do you do anything? Is there something you do specifically? I see like on Instagram, all the girls doing like glute bridges and all those different things. Do you mess around with anything like that, or you just kind of lift heavy?
So I do my strength moves, and then I put in my my hypertrophy in between that. So if I'm doing it's my legs day, I will work up to my strength moves, and then after that, do all the isolation work. So, and then on if I train strength 4 days a week, the other 2 will be hypertrophy. So it just depends. I mix it up because I feel like if I don't, my body kind of goes away. I don't want it to, because obviously as women we want some glutes, and I'm not naturally blessed with glutes, so I have to work really hard, because otherwise I'm blessed with quads and hammies, so I have to work really hard to bring them out, otherwise I just dominate down the bottom. So everyone's different. Some girls don't need to do that. But
What's your favorite lift? You got a favorite lift?
it changes. If I have a really crappy week at squats, it's going to be deadlifts. If my hip hurts on deadlift, it's bench. Whatever goes good for that week is like my favorite move. So no, it's a bit cheaty, but
Do you follow anything specific nutrition-wise?
I do. I follow macros at times. No, I try and it depends. If I've got something like the Olympia coming up, I'll work a little bit harder to stick to my macros. But other than that, I'll make sure I'm just eating healthy and then have like a cheat meal, which by the way is like a clean cheat, you know, nothing like it's cheese and all that crappy stuff that makes me feel sick.
Is she telling the truth?
I'm pretty on my diet, yeah. But that's only another reason why.
It's interesting. Jim and I were just talking about going to the Olympia, and I don't know, we've been going there on and off for a decade,
A long time,
or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the bodybuilders, the guys that are competing, obviously those guys are getting in tremendous shape. They're getting in the best shape they possibly can, the best condition they possibly can. But the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that are going there with having a booth or just going there because they're sponsored or just going there recreationally, literally almost every single person that goes to that event is trying to like either be stronger or be in better shape or have a better representation for themselves.
And the ones
like,
that don't,
that 1 or 2 days that they're there.
and the ones that don't should.
Right. And it happens, at the Arnold Fit Expo as well. And
Yeah.
You guys probably have expos like that too, but it's just it ends up being kind of an interesting thing, even though a lot of us aren't going there and like standing on a stage in a bikini or anything like that. But you still kind of feel like, I'm going to be seen by a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And I should probably knock off like 10 pounds.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because you want to look like what you represent. Because there's been many times and I've heard horror
They're
stories.
Hold up their phone to you and be like, ooh.
She did, yeah. Is that you?
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's shocking because like you look up to these people and you want to look like them and you idolize them and then you meet them and they're not what they say they are, or they could be really rude as well, and you just like you feel disappointed. So I think it's really important to practice what you preach and show, instead of just taking the selfie, maybe show your work or show your diet, or so people can kind of catch on and be inspired as well as know that it is realistic.
How did that feel like the first time that happened to you, where people approached you and they were fans and talked to you? How did you respond to that?
Well, the first words they said were, "Oh my God, you're a midget." They don't expect me to be so small, I guess. I must look real buff or something. I'm always
That's really
puffing.
rude.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, I know. But when you hear it like 10 times, like over and over,
I
you're like,
get it, yeah. I've been this short as long as I've been an adult.
Yes.
So
yeah. So it's surreal though. Like people, when you're putting yourself out there, you see numbers, you forget that they are people watching you, and so when people come up to you and act like they know you, it's just like, whoa. Like, I don't think you ever get used to it. Well, I don't get used to it.
We've been at this a while, and I'm not used to it.
Yeah. It's definitely a little strange, but at the same time, I think, if you put a lot of stuff out there and you start to have some fans, then you should recognize that they're going to know quite a bit about you.
Yeah.
If they know stuff that you haven't posted,
That's when it's
Then it's a
you should
problem.
be worried.
yeah, then it's starting to get like, if they know, the names of your children and you haven't really shared a lot of that kind of stuff, then it starts to get to be like,
Yeah.
whoa, wait a second, kind of what's going on here. But in general, I mean, if you're going to put a lot out there, then your information's going to, I mean, it's just where we're at.
Speaking of, with your children, like you were saying, I don't post a lot of my children online, and I get a lot of hate for that because people are like, geez,
Oh, you're screwed either way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Screwed either way.
So protect your children or post them, and then you're like exposing. It's like, it's a really hard one.
Well, people will think, if you don't post about your husband, that you're being like misleading in some weird way. If you don't post and it's like, it's not that I'm not a family person. It's just like, then they're in the line of fire now too. They didn't sign up for any of that. Especially, my kids are still young and they didn't agree to any of this stuff, So like, I'm not gonna occasionally, because I just can't resist. I will post them here and there, but it's really pretty rare. I try not to share some of that side. And for yourself, how do you kind of draw the line, like with just hanging out with the fam and just chilling, or versus like, hey, like this would be a good opportunity to, take advantage of social media?
Yeah, well, I decided that my Instagram page, for instance, was a fitness journey of my fitness journey as a mother, separate from family. So if I do put my kids in there, it's in the Insta story and it disappears, and I feel better about that. So people see a little snippet.
Disappears too.
Yeah, but it's gone. So until that they get to an age, like even my son now has people telling him at school, "Is your mummy famous?" Like they talk, and like that worries me because I don't want him to get like, your mum does this or that and get teased. So I get really really self-conscious and really worried at times. So it's minimal for me personally. Yeah.
Yeah, I just personally, for me, I don't even like Facebook. When Facebook started and I first got on Facebook, nobody knew who I was in particular. Not that anybody really does now either, but by this point, I'm uncomfortable including the family too much. And it was originally kind of just family on my page.
I think Facebook initially had, different intentions of maybe what it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Or it's somewhat morphed into something different, because I guess it kind of originally started with almost like dating, right, and ranking,
college
right?
stuff, yeah.
And then it morphed into like family, and it was supposed to kind of morph into like family / business stuff, and it never really turned the corner business wise. It just kind of stayed family-ish, and then somewhere along the lines it started to like fall apart a little bit. Instagram came along and Snapchat came along, and now we're in the spot we're in now.
It's still a tremendous advertising vehicle, though.
Oh, it's the biggest by far. It's not even close.
Yeah, because you can target so well.
Yeah.
There's so much information that you unwittingly or knowingly give Facebook that allows you to allows them to find particular customers for particular advertisers.
Do you focus on different aspects of social media? Or is it pretty much just Instagram?
I did have Snapchat. This is a year ago, but you can't control what pictures you get. So I decided to get off.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Wasn't me, it was our viewers.
So I feel like I can.
Yeah,
the story in the
people are
Instagram was
crazy.
such a great update, because you can just put everything on there. It's the same thing. I personally don't need to have 17 different avenues. I just don't have time. Number one, busy family, and number two, I just don't need it. So,
yeah, I think that the Facebook stories are never going to go anywhere, but the Instagram stories have basically eaten Snapchat.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone bothers.
Yeah.
Does it ever get a little confusing to you? Like, you mentioned how kind of quickly you fell in love with like lifting.
Yeah.
Did you ever kind of be like, I just feel like just fucking training, like you're just not in the mood like to do a photo, like that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Does that kind of thing happen to you sometimes?
Yeah, because there are days you just feel crap. Like you might have just had a heavy week lifting, and then you've got that kind of body telling you to deload week, and you're just not motivated. Like, I'm not lifting heavy anyway, I can't be bothered, or you're just tired from kids. But I think, sorry for the people that don't have kids, you're tired from work or whatever you're tired from, but that's what, I guess, sets people in the kind of athlete world apart, because you make a choice and you just commit to it regardless. And I think that's what I like to advertise, especially on my page, because I do have a family and I do have, all problems like everybody else, but I just make a choice, just get up, get it, grind it, just do it. And that's what I enjoy preaching too. So
structure, technique, all that stuff that helps get you through when your motivation is somewhat lacking.
Yeah, and I just listen to podcasts as well, whether it's preaching, whether it's just, self-help, just feed it into me, because there's a triangle, and if no one's feeding into you, you can get worn out because you're too busy feeding into your clients or to your workmates or whatever, and you get tired. So you've got to find that something else to bring the balance back in, I believe. So
Is that a way that you work on yourself, by listening
Yeah.
to podcasts, music,
Yeah.
stuff like that?
yeah, because it's all good to you can have your partner to lean on, but
Right.
he's going to get tired too, or she's going to get tired too, because they're hearing the same crap over and over.
Right.
So you need someone separate from your world that's just, feeding back into your brain. Otherwise, you're just going to end up mess. Or just,
When do you have time to do that? Do you do that during lifting, or
No.
just in the car or something like that? Or
this is really weird, but I get up an hour before my kids do, and I put on my makeup for the day, and I put my phone on, and whatever I'm listening to, whatever I'm feeling. So I might type in discipline because I'm getting lazy, and then I'll have this one thing on that genre or whatever I feel for the day. And I have 30 minutes of it, because that's how long it takes. Sometimes less, depending. Did I wash my hair? I don't know. But so that's my time in the morning before they get up. It's done. Everything's
it's
done.
probably off of YouTube?
Yeah,
Something like that?
YouTube. YouTube. yeah. Because you can type in anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I get secular, Christian. I just have a mixture of just,
Are you religious?
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep, so I was brought up pregnant, mum. Yeah, I was brought up in church all my life, and I'm not I don't full preach at people, but I do believe in faith and trying to do the right thing and help people and be generous and kind and stuff like that. So
You feel that's helped you?
Yeah, it's
an
helped. It's
adult?
grounded me a lot. Like in this industry, you can get really lost.
yeah.
You know, it's normal for girls now to be like, the fitness photos are like boobs and like G-strings and stuff like that. And when you're posting every day and you're supposed to post your body because that's what you're advertising, it's so easy to think that's okay in your world.
G-strings and boobs are bad.
If that's all you
Speechless,
post.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, for me personally, because I am a mum and I have a family, I don't think that's where I sit on that level. So each to their own, though.
Yeah, but after a while, you start to feel like people are not interested in my substance; they're only interested in what I look like, and people end up pushing that as far as they can go because they've done the same thing over and over. So
yeah, and then you have companies. I'm with great companies now, but in the past, that kind of when you're shooting with them, they kind of like lift this up, do that, and they kind of direct you in that, and that's when you have to really find your grounding and say, no, I don't do that. I've been poached for like lingerie shoots with really, really well-known photographers. And that's great for other girls. But me personally, with my value system, I don't feel comfortable. So it's just about not saying, oh, that's going to get me more attention and more likes. It's like, well, am I going to look back at that and really regret that?
yeah,
So,
sort of a thanks, but I'm not interested because it just doesn't fit well with me.
and if people
with me
don't
personally.
follow you for that, you don't want those people anyway. Do you know what I mean? You want people that love you for you and are really inspired for the way that you do it. And, you know.
That's one of the things about social media too, is that people are not always open to seeing you in a different way
Yeah.
than they have categorized you. So if you're to make a sharp turn into something like lingerie, people are like,
Yeah, you'll gain some, but then you'll lose some.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you want?
You also might lose some traction with the people that matter more.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people can drum up a lot of attention. You know, you can get on a corner and you can smash on some fucking pots and pans and you can get some people to look at you because you're making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But you can't get people to stop and really pay attention unless you're really good.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the same thing is true here with Instagram. The same thing is, I really like YouTube as a platform a lot because you still get to show more of who you are rather than just kind of like a quick picture and a kind of a smaller message. And I think, you know, over time, the people that aren't overexposing too many different things, I think, will probably stand tall in the end.
Well, that's right. Like you can go up really quickly, but you can come down just as fast.
Yeah.
It's about staying there and just keeping doing what you're doing because people like that routine of knowing you for that. So for me, it's
Right.
like lifting heavy. I know it sucks sometimes and I'm tired, but that's what I do. And if I wasn't on social media doing it, I'd be doing it anyway. So it's what I do and it comes easy to me because I'm passionate about it. So directing anywhere else other than that, I'm not probably going to last long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem like on your Instagram stuff, a lot of times you're dancing around, you're smiling, and you're joking, and then you're actually still like lifting pretty heavy.
Yeah.
When you're in that frame of mind, is that when you lift the best?
I
when
think
you're like
so.
being silly,
Yeah.
wacky?
Yeah, because if I put too much pressure on myself, I psych myself out.
Yeah.
And like if Jamie's like, my partner's like, you know, you need to do like 4 on this, I'll be like, and then I overthink it. But if I'm just dancing, I go in there. If it feels good, just do 4. If I don't do 4, I don't do 4. If you take the pressure off and just really enjoy what you're doing, it's a whole lot easier.
And you're like, fuck it, I did 3.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
So
the
what?
difference?
You did 3.
Yeah, you tried and
Yeah.
it didn't work out, and then you
Yeah.
gotta. I mean, you're just
And then celebration dance. That's how it works. Yeah.
you're just where you're at, you
Yeah.
know. And I think that's a more comfortable way of looking at it. I've had some friends I've helped with, you know, strength training, I've helped with diet, and they'll get super frustrated about something, and it's like, well, we're just here at this moment, like this is where we're at, and we're here not because of anything wrong you did. We're here as a byproduct of everything that we've done leading up to this point. And now we might need to like change some things, but there's no reason to hit the panic button. You know, there's no reason to, and everything's like that. Business, relationships, lifting, that's all the same shit, really.
As long as you're trying and you're in it.
Right.
Like if you're not in it and you're freaking out, there's no point.
You got to pull stuff in, you got to pull stuff out. It just kind of
Yeah.
depends on what the situation is.
Just a word from our sponsor, Precision Nutrition. In the past few years, I bet you've heard or thought at least one of the following. This is for questions for our audience. Carbs spike your blood sugar and insulin, which prevents fat loss and causes fat gain. Carbs, especially sugar and grains, cause inflammation and carbs are not an essential part of a healthy diet like fat and protein are. Have you heard those things? Have you thought those things?
It's a real guessing game out there. You don't know. You don't know what's true all the time, and I think a lot of us could use some help. And even in talking to you about your diet, we're on vastly different diets.
Yeah,
our diets are quite a bit different. I'm not someone that really tracks stuff and really pays attention to the exact macronutrient breakdown. Meanwhile, you're following something that's totally different.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do that. Yeah,
and you've lost some weight.
Yep.
And I'm following something totally different from you, and I've lost some weight. And it's really just a matter of finding something that's going to work for you. And I think you just hear that over and over again. It sounds very cliche, but I think it's very true. If you can find something and you can start to break some bad habits, then you can really start to get back on the right track. And something like precision nutrition is going to help lead you down the right path.
Yep. All of this seems obviously very simple if you just make it all black and white.
Right.
And what you're pointing out is the fact that it's really not black and white. Simplistic ideas about good food and bad food ignore biological complexity and the bigger picture of the whole diet scene. That's why our sponsor, Precision Nutrition, created a brand new free course for PowerCast listeners to dig into the science behind low carb and ketogenic diets. Visit get.pn/PowerCast and get access to the free course, which covers what the research tells us about low carb and ketogenic diets, how to know if low carb, keto, or something else is right for you or your clients, the difference between paleo style diets and low carb diets, which ways of eating are the most effective for health and body change, a step-by-step guide to finding the right way of eating for you or your clients, and much more. Not only will the course give you a deeper understanding of these topics for yourself, but when friends, family, clients, and colleagues come to you for advice, rest assured that you'll have the science-based, client-tested answers that they need. People ask us questions all the time, and we know what we know. But do we always know the science behind it? And can we always answer those questions in a way that's tailored to that person's particular needs?
Principle of awareness. It's a key component to anything, to gain further knowledge and to know why you're doing something is extremely important. The other thing is, have you been stuck losing weight?
Yeah.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah.
And I have a very conscious effort towards losing weight. I'm exercising more. You figure out ways to eat less or to work your way out of some bad habits and things like that. And the only thing that's been successful for people that I've worked with personally have been people that continue to interact with me. And those are the people, because you really do need somebody. You think you can do it on your own, but it's very difficult. You kind of need someone to lead you to it. And so I think with Precision Nutrition, that's exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get a group of people that care and a group of people that are going to lead you to the right thing.
Trust me when I say this is some of PN's best work over the last decade. They've helped nearly 100,000 clients get their own eating on track and nearly 50,000 professionals stay on the cutting edge of the industry. Consultants to companies like Apple, Equinox, UFC, and Titleist, athletes like the newest U.S. Open champion Sloane Stephens. They're doing amazing work, and you need to check it out. So if you want to understand the science behind the low-carb diet trend and the best way of eating for you or a client, grab the free course at get.pn/PowerCast. That's get.pn/PowerCast. Check it out, guys.
Check it out. As I look on your Instagram here, you got a shit ton of photos. How do you draw the line between, sexualizing too much? Your pictures are very attractive. You have a lot of them, and then so for you, how do you kind of define okay, I'm showing off my body, or I'm showing off a little too far?
I can give you two versions. Before I had a partner, I was probably more exposed than what I would have liked, but I didn't see that then because I was just it was just me and the kids. And not to say that it was overly sexual, but right. I probably hit boundaries I probably wouldn't hit now. And now that I have a partner, I actually say, babe, is this okay? Are you okay with this? Because I don't want him like to show my
That's
body
a good way of looking at it, yeah.
without his like, and him feel really uncomfortable, because that makes me feel really uncomfortable that he's not happy for the world seeing that. And I guess that's also having respect for the people around you. Like, would you show it to your mum? Like, do you know what I mean? People are going to see it. My son's going to see it. So it's figuring out what's okay within yourself, and that comes back to being grounded once again, knowing who you are and what you want and where you stand. So yeah, that's really important. And I mean, like, when you post a photo afterwards, your heart's either beating because like that wasn't okay, like, oh crap, or you know within yourself if you're in touch with your mind and your body.
We actually talked to a previous guest about the fact that there's like a serotonin reaction to getting likes on social media, and of course it's just probably the opposite. If you don't get the likes, or if you get negative comments, it's you're always vulnerable, I guess. Yeah,
you're right. It's a horrible feeling, because if you place your whole like thought pattern and your whole life on social media, it can really disturb like your daily activities. Like, you can get real depressed about it because everyone hates me, my photo sucks, and you're sitting there dwelling on it. That you have to really, especially in the social media world, find that disconnection from it. Otherwise you can get in a bit too far and it can just really psych you out and depress you, or get you too far and then you're doing things you normally wouldn't do. So
have you had some negative comments like really just throw you off?
Yeah, all the time. When I first started, it like used to really affect me, and I used to like not even put up training videos because I was scared that people were going to be like down on my form and like, you know, psych me out all the time. But since then I've learnt to delete it off, and then I don't see it. No one else sees it, because if someone else sees it, they can kind of copy and like, yeah, you're right. And then you've got all these negative comments coming through. You just delete, block, and you're done. So you don't want negative people like that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about blocking. It's one less follower. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like when it's your well-being. Yeah.
Good advice. You just block them and you fucking forget about it.
Wasn't there. You knew. Yeah.
Move on to the next thing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because like so many people will like it, and so many people will tell you that you're inspiring them and you're motivating them, and they look forward to your, you know, whatever you're posting for that day, and they're super excited. And then it's the one dick that posts something mean, and that's where our focus goes to. Yeah, exactly. And then you start thinking. Someone said I didn't have calves the other day. I'm like, Jamie, I don't have calves. He's like, your calves are fine, Stephanie. And then I started thinking maybe I should train calves more. I don't care about calves. Just what do I care? Otherwise, I'll train them if I really wanted massive calves. You know what I mean? Like, but they can like really affect you.
Yeah. Calves are genetic anyway.
Yeah, well,
that's a great video to do. Like the next very chance that you get, you go into the gym and say, hey, so and so, I'm training calves for you today.
Yeah, so we don't have any of it just for you.
Yeah, exactly. I know people get out of hand.
Yeah,
do you have YouTube as well?
I started it, and it's just sitting there because I've just been so busy, you know, because it's like I have the same routine every day of, you know, get up, drop the kids off at school, I work in the gym that I train at, so you work, then you train yourself, then you're back to school, pick up, and then homework and blah, blah, blah. And then all the posting that I've got to do and other companies and stuff like that, I don't get time to really put another aspect of YouTube together. I want to do it, but it's something I'm not saying no to, but it's just sitting there at the moment.
Do you get any anxiety? Like from, you know, doing all, like, because, so from this point, I mean, you have, you know, over 500,000 followers, and, you know, do you start to get, like, you're monetizing it, you have sponsors and stuff like that, so does it kind of get to be, like, to a point where I know you're excited about it, and you want to do it, and you put yourself in a position to do it, but still, you get some anxiety about it here and there?
Yes, because I feel sometimes like I compare myself to other people who are doing the same thing that I am, but they're on a beach taking a photo, or they're here, and I'm just, that same routine has me in the same places, and I feel like at times that my photos are uninteresting because I'm doing the same thing. And at the same time, like you said, you got to realize that you are monetizing it, so you have to be grateful that you are. Like, I don't have to go out and work like a 9-to-5 job. I should be grateful for the position that I'm in. And I guess that's what I have to tell myself when I get like that, like anxious, that, hey, this is your job. If you look at it as your job, then it makes it easier.
Yeah, you're grateful for the position that you're in, and you can, just because other people are improving your position or improving their position doesn't mean that you can't continue to improve yours.
Yeah, and just doing the best that you can. Obviously, people are liking what I'm putting up on there. Otherwise, it would be going, so I just have to have faith in that and just realize, just keep doing what you're doing. It's working. You don't need to change anything.
Do you think some of the things that you learned from fitness, do you think it helps you be a better mom?
I think so. It makes me appreciate the time with my children more. Like I used to be a stay-at-home mum where I didn't do PT, and you used to just sit in the house twiddling your thumbs. You'd have to wait to find things to do in the house because you're always in the house. So the fact that I get to come home and do their homework with them, or, just sit and hang out, I really appreciate that time because, everyone's busy. So I feel like I am a better mum for that. And the fact that I feel like I've got more energy for them because I am active.
Do you have them following any sort of nutrition advice, or you try to teach them a little bit about pros and cons of eating certain foods and stuff like that?
I don't know how long we have, but I had this incident and my daughter was chewing up. This girl in her school taught her to chew up food. So eat your food, chew up food, put water in your mouth and spit it on the floor.
Oh my God.
Looks like vomit. Then you get to go home and play with mum. So she was doing that, and the teachers thought that my daughter, because of how into fitness I am, had an eating disorder, and they were so concerned about it. So I feel and she's really super eats everything. She doesn't have problems, but they also know the importance of health. So I try and give them the triangle, which is your proteins, your fats, and your carbs, and I always make sure that they're getting enough. My son is just showing interest in fitness, and we have a little home set up. So he's been really into that. I made him do legs the other day, and I think we went a bit hard because he was like, "Oh, Mum, I don't want to train tonight." The next day. So I think I freaked him out. I get really passionate. So but he's still really interested. So yeah.
You got him doing lunges and squats and all kinds of stuff like that?
Yeah, he just loves deadlifts. We call them deadlifts, but they're rack pulls because I didn't want him to take it from the floor. And he's just we've loaded it up a little bit, and he just loves it. He thinks he's so strong. It's that much, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's great. How old is he?
He's 9.
Oh, that's cool. He just sees you guys in there, and then he wants to train with you?
Yeah, so I didn't actually preach it to him. We just do our thing, and then he was like, I really want to do this. And I want that. I want him to figure it out for himself. I never want to push my kids into doing anything. So I was really excited when he showed interest, yeah.
How do you, that to me as a parent, that's the hardest thing to figure out is how do you, draw that line between, not wanting to push your kid because you don't want to push them too much to be really anything like you necessarily, but at the same time, the little brat needs to eat his goddamn vegetables, or he needs to go to church with you, or there's some shit he's got to do, with you, and there's some stuff he and she are going to have to do that they don't want to do, right?
Yeah, well, you got to instill values, like the whole you become the people you hang around thing. Obviously, they're into fitness because they see us do it, and they want to eat healthy because that's all we do. So that's all that they really know, and they have their treats in between. I'm never taking things away from them. It's also giving them a little bit of freedom because the more that you control people, the more they want to go the other way. Yeah, so it's saying, oh, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But here's the option,
If you can make it seem like it's their idea, it's so much more powerful than if it's your idea.
Yeah, that's right. So just giving them the options and setting the routine right, I guess. Right. Yeah.
As I'm scrolling down, trying to get more down towards the bottom of your IG.
There's a lot of photos on. You might be all day.
Yeah, I might be there for a while. No, I did. I got to the bottom of it. You have changed immensely. How far back does this date to?
When I was a female to a man, or?
Yeah. I mean, you looked awesome as a dude. You really did.
So, I don't know when I got Instagram. It was longer than that now. Does it say on the photo, the very first photo, what year it was? It should say. If you press it.
It might. Let me see.
Down the bottom.
1972. No, it says 2012.
Okay, so yeah, it's been a while. I originally got Instagram because my sister got it, and I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't know Instagram existed in 2012.
Yeah, well, it must have been fresh on the. Well, yeah, it was just getting started, and I just thought it was a filter site. I got a new iPhone filters, and I didn't actually realize until weird people were commenting on stuff. And
that you were actually posting it.
Yeah, I was posting me or my kids, and because it was just photo, whatever. And then when it was open to public, I didn't realize until I Googled what it was. And then that's from the family kind of bottom bit, I started to, as you probably scrolling now, evolve into just eating. And then it went from eating to more fitness. And then it kind of went into selfies and then training. Yeah. I just got sick of the selfies, and I wasn't confident enough to do training, put training videos up until Jamie, my partner.
These older photos, you're... just like a skinny, cardio bunny.
Yeah, I used to run 10K a day.
You're not jacked.
No.
It's very disappointing old
Yeah,
photos here.
I didn't know how to eat back then either.
You so at that point, were you going to the gym and not eating type thing? Were you training really hard and like trying just to be as as fit as you could be?
Well, I was younger. I'm 30 now, so I don't know how old I was then. My metabolism was better, but
Well, I'm saying you look better now. I'm just saying.
oh, really? Yeah, body wise,
you look way better now. I think that these photos, you look awesome in these photos too, but you're so much thinner. I see a lot of women, not even just women, but mainly women, like not eating and going and doing a ton of cardio and then and thinking that that's some healthy or sustainable way of doing things. Were you kind of doing something like that?
Well, after my first child, I gained 25 kilos. So my instant thought was
25 kilos.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
On me. Imagine it. Yeah. And so I just thought, run, don't eat. And that's why I had such a small, I was like 43 kilos back then, like small frame, just didn't eat much and just ran. So that was the best way back then, how I knew before some education through fitness, how to lose weight. And like most women, they think low calories, cardio. And that's why that same thing is still around because it's just what we know. It's all that's preached.
So what do you do now, nutrition-wise?
Nutrition-wise, I do...
you said you're pretty strict.
My carbs are probably higher because I am training harder than what I would normally have if I was, say, running, like 60 grams of carbs. I'm up at like 200. Making sure I'm getting enough essential fats. Protein doesn't need to be too high for me because I gain muscle really easily, so I don't really need high amounts of protein, as well as it's hard for my body to break down. So I just stick to, clean carbs, nothing too filthy.
Keep your fat kind of moderate. Like you might have a cheeseburger here and there, but mainly it's like chicken breast and rice.
Yeah, just the healthy
fish,
feeds. Yeah,
kangaroo meat.
I have IBS. Off the road, and I can't process a lot of like outside the garden foods. Oh, okay. So it affects me really badly. Yeah. So
you can get your I don't know if you heard of different stuff, but you can get your gut microbiome like checked out, and like there's people that are doing that now. I think you were mentioning.
I ordered that kit and it still hasn't come. It's been like 3 weeks. Kit? I need to check it out. Yeah.
Sounds.
You can get it tested, and you can kind of like figure out what you can. I guess you can get to the quote unquote bottom of like what's really messing up your stomach, because sometimes it's like very specific things.
Well, for me, a lot of the time it's anxiety and stress. It's in my family, the WOG way, I guess. So it's just a matter of
everybody just blowing up toilets left and right.
Yeah, not even that. Just like looking like you're pregnant 24/7. Just swelling and stuff. So it's learning how to control your cortisol as well.
Yeah, that bloat. Yeah, that's just the
Could
discussion.
be anything.
I know it really matters a lot for different people, but I've heard some people really having some really bad reactions to vegetables.
Yeah.
Vegetables that have seeds in them can really blow people up, and I've heard, I don't know if it was on Rogan or who was talking about it. I want to say they're called lectins, and they can just really irritate the shit out of your stomach. So yeah, it's interesting. You're it sucks because you try to eat healthy, and you're like, these egg whites are going to be great for me, and then they end up in the toilet.
Yeah.
Or you end up feeling sick or bloated from it or whatever.
Yeah.
And it can be super frustrating. Do you do anything in particular with your diet?
Well, that's like you're saying, like knowing what foods don't trigger makes things a lot easier. So I kind of stick to what I know and try and every now and then widen it. So like add a new one in. Oh, that's okay. So then you've got more variety. But routine, like just drinking so much water, making sure that I'm hydrated and making sure I'm taking IBS support and things that I know work for me. But yeah, one of the biggest factors separate to diet was just stress. Just learning how to chill out from the gram or from like the kids stressing me out, like learning how to just, it's okay, like self-talk, all that YouTube.
So one of the things that I've taken gotten back to taking recently that I think helps with IBS is psyllium. Yeah. Just psyllium caps.
Helps gel everything together.
Yeah. And I think that, I think it was Jeff Nichols when he was on, was talking about, maybe it's somebody else. Anyway, talking about how that the psyllium actually feeds certain specific bacteria in your gut.
Psyllium husk?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've tried that as well, and for me, it doesn't work. No. Yeah.
It's pretty not foolproof, but I can tell when I'm taking it. I can tell it's better.
How did we talk about bowels?
You
Yeah.
take probiotics or anything like that, or
Yeah.
we always talk about poop.
We always talk about poop.
Oh, I'm glad I can join the poo convo.
Do you have a good poop story for us? I got my fingers crossed right now.
It's so hard.
I do. I'll be honest.
She's got a couple.
No, just one. I don't.
One big one.
No, it's not literally, but like it's to do. I don't feel comfortable if I haven't gone for the day. Like I lose confidence. Like I like to just know that it's out, and then I can start again and eat lots, and then it's,
Because of the irritable bowel syndrome, probably.
Yeah, otherwise I feel disgusting. I feel like pregnant, and I feel like I can't eat anything else because it's still in there.
Yes.
So you show up places late all the time?
I actually do. We call it fit mum time because I'm always late. I was late here today, sorry, but you weren't here.
She had to clear out the pipes.
Yes, that's my poo story.
We occasionally schedule very early shows. When I say very early, I mean like 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. But it's very difficult for me to make that because as I'm walking out the door, that's going to be the time that I need to stop. So I'm going to be 10 minutes late.
For some reason, it doesn't matter what time I wake up, but whatever time I wake up, it's just like a half hour after I wake up, and boom, there I'm going.
Really? So
I'm
it's
off
timed
to-
itself.
I'm off to
You got a good bowel if that happens.
Self-timer.
Yeah.
Just a sip of coffee in the morning usually just.
Yeah, it just activates it.
Yeah, I call it getting struck by lightning.
So you can't drink coffee during the day because it'll activate?
No, it's just that morning. It's just that morning coffee.
It's just the
like,
morning
boom.
coffee. Yeah.
But it's I also kind of refer to it as like time travel because I always think I'm doing something, and I'm like, I got like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
Oh, no,
I have no more minutes.
Yeah, it's
I
there.
got no more time. Time's up.
And like
Alarms
you can't
ring.
keep it in, like suck it up because you know that it's not going to be the same if you
You're
do.
in a
It
lot of
needs to
trouble.
come. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can't. Yeah.
You can't enjoy it.
You'll fuck it up.
That's right.
We definitely can't have that. Do you have any competitions coming up or anything?
I'm planning to compete in December with powerlifting. My first,
Awesome.
my partner had one at his gym, but that doesn't count. It's like when your mum calls you pretty when you're not. It's like it's his gym, so it doesn't count. So, sorry. Yeah, that's my next one. Oh no. Whew.
Carry on.
Yeah. So that's my next competition in December. Hopefully, I'm working towards it. So I'm just gonna not put pressure on myself, that whole anxiety thing, and just go.
What lift do you struggle with the most?
I'm going to say deadlift because I have a bit of a crook hip. Yeah, I just lose my confidence with it, but I'm trying. It's probably a mental
That's
thing.
a wrong answer, by the way.
Why? Did I do a crappy squat today?
No, you're supposed to say that you don't have any.
But this is raw talk.
You have to fucking trick yourself.
Yeah, sorry, I
You gotta
dominate
lie to
all.
yourself a little bit. You gotta convince yourself. I
Yeah.
got no holes in my game. Don't know what you're talking about. Next question.
Pass. Yeah.
Those deadlift gets stuck a little bit. You guys do anything in training in particular to kind of bring that up?
I learned how to stretch. Probably should have done that. That's why I have a hip injury. So, yeah, stretching and just doing exercise. to
Before a
strengthen.
training session?
Yeah, before. Yeah,
And that's-
warm up.
And that seemed like it's worked
Yeah, it
pretty well for
helped.
you?
And I had like a lady at the injury clinic back home work on it. But then she needled me, right? I've had been needled before, but she needled me and literally put it in and like twiggled and then ripped it out like this. And like I was paralyzed after. I've never experienced anything like it. It did fix my hip for a little bit, but like it was the worst experience ever. Is that normal?
Did you feel sick after she did that?
I felt like I cried. Like
Yeah.
I don't really cry, and I'm really masculine. But like I cried after that. I'm like, is this normal? And apparently it activates like she said that grown men cry after this. So it made me feel a little better. But I've never experienced. Have you experienced anything like that?
Not necessarily like that, but I've
Where you cried after needling?
yeah, I've taken bad shots before, and they can like almost make your whole body feel paralyzed.
Yeah, I can walk.
They can drop your blood sugar down a ton, and you just feel like cold but hot at the same time. I mean, you feel really fucking sick.
Didn't somebody just about break your back too?
Probably.
Yeah.
Cracking my back.
Cracking your back.
Yeah.
Similar kind of thing where you just like
Yeah, I was stuck.
stuck. Yeah.
I was stuck for a while. I needed a break. Have you had many injuries in powerlifting?
No, I haven't been
healthy?
doing it long enough to really hurt myself. So I'm lucky, but
That's great. That's the truth, right? I mean, that's what happens. You do it long enough.
Yeah. You'll get screwed up at some point.
yeah.
Yeah, you mess around with any strongman type stuff or do any bodybuilding types of things?
Yeah, I do a bit of bodybuilding just for the aesthetic thing. But like
Right.
I find the more attention I go to powerlifting, like the more unco I get with the bodybuildings and then vice versa.
Right.
So it's like that's why I have that program where it's all kind of intertwined. But yeah, I do a bit of both.
You do any real like high rep training? Like
Yeah,
set
I
to
love the
20,
reps. Just the burn.
Just
Not today though. That was really bad. After I trained, I was like, oh my god, this guy. Hopefully we don't load that and hear what
Yeah,
I
wait
said.
till tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be really fun.
Why?
It'll be really cool.
What
Tomorrow.
are we doing?
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
No, I know, but what are we doing?
Yep. Oh yes. Yep.
Take some more Voltaren before I come.
Yeah. It's gonna be like
Exciting.
one of those days that's just gonna be like a 4 to 6 hour workout.
Remind me to eat before I come. Don't look aesthetic, just
food.
lift. Yeah.
Take no. You know what happens actually is I try to kill people. I try to kill almost everybody that comes here, and I end up killing myself.
Yeah, I saw the look in your eye. You're like, I'm going to get this girl. She thinks she's king shit. I'm going to
Yeah.
get her. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I end up just falling apart myself. I'm like literally falling apart, holding together by some duct tape, I think. We had a couple questions come in from the Instagrams. I posted up a picture of you hitting up some of them deadlifts, and
Okay.
so I'm gonna maybe somebody else can browse through them as we continue to talk. I see just a lot of hearts. Really, I don't know how many questions actually came through, but
Oh, we like hots.
how's the gym that you guys train at? It looks pretty cool. Looks like you guys are well stocked with a good amount of powerlifting stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem though, because you get so used to good equipment when you go somewhere else, you don't know how to lift. Like I went somewhere yesterday and the bar was like that fat and it was slippering and I was sliding off the bench and I'm like, I miss home. You just get used to having,
This place sucks. You have other girls that train with you?
No, I train alone. That's one thing I can't. They
That's
just
probably-
chat, you
oh,
know.
that's-
And then you
yeah,
get
that's probably
cold
that too.
and yeah.
It's probably the time commitment too, right? Like you're
That's
having
right.
a family and everything, and,
Yeah.
and going back and forth between different things is probably tough.
And our gym, we all do different things. There's like strong women, the CrossFitters, the cardio, like, and it's hard to find a mate.
What did the other? On Instagram, you are sharing a lot of information about yourself. You're sharing your journey of being a fit mom. Do you share that journey with people like in your neighborhood, people that are like local, or are you like more shy or don't have time sort of thing, and you're more to yourself?
Well, not like local where I go and speak to people, but if I go to the supermarket or something, you get people asking.
Yeah, what do you do? You do CrossFit,
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah,
always
like-
probably ask CrossFit, right?
Yeah, well, the customs forgot to take my photo when I came in here because we were just chatting about CrossFit. I didn't even do CrossFit, but he's like, you're a CrossFitter. And he just kept going, I used to do this, and that. And then I'm like, Jamie, did he take your photo? He's like, yeah. I'm like, did he take this? And he forgot to do everything he was supposed to do. So you forget that when you go out into the real world, you're different. Like you feel like you don't look different because you hang around with, everyone who looks like you.
Right.
So that's how you kind of get in
That's
conversations
what's so
with
exciting
people.
about going to like the Olympics.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, look at all these other meatheads. You're all pumped
Yeah,
about it. It's
yeah,
really
you're
weird.
normal. Yeah. So I pick up clients and stuff from supermarkets and drive through coffee, and yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, when you go to like the school and you drop the kids off or something, I'm sure people are asking you questions and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm in and out. Like,
Right.
I don't like to hang around. I just get them in, out. I don't really like the school thing. I find like I'm the young mum. Like, I'm really like, they get really cliquey and they look down at you a little bit, I feel like. Yeah, because they're all a lot older, and so I just like to run.
They're probably looking down at you because you let yourself go so much. They're probably just like, wow, she really just...
I get real self-conscious about it. I feel like that, I'm intimidated almost.
The age thing can be intimidating. Our older son was born when we were pretty young.
Yeah.
Not super young, but pretty young.
Did you find the same thing?
Yeah,
just
yeah,
being
absolutely.
young parents?
Most of the parents were at least 10 years older than us,
Yeah.
and if not more so.
Yeah.
And it was intimidating because they were like someplace else in their careers, and
Yeah.
that may or may not be their first child, whereas it was definitely our first child. So
Yeah.
they just had more gravitas in the world, and it just made you feel like you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
I don't get anywhere near the school.
Oh.
I'm scared of it.
He's allergic to it.
Yeah, allergic to it. And then, yeah, like I don't know. I'm not that comfortable around a lot of people, which is a weird thing because I'm totally fine in some settings, but in other settings, I
feel exactly the same, to be honest.
I couldn't be more weird.
Yeah, I'm really socially awkward as well. Talk about dumb
people
things.
People think I'm mad all the time. They're like, wait, why is she so mad?
Resting, like...
And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, that's funny because that's a question that came in, and you can twist this around and make it a positive for everyone else if you want. Ask her why the rest of the women around the world have such bad case of resting bitch face in the gym, and she looks like she just won the lottery every time I see her lifting.
Aww.
That's a nice compliment.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, it's because I get up like an hour early in the morning and do my thing. A lot of fakeness going on here. Yeah. So
but
like you can't rest.
But it's not just that because it's
What's it look
like
with
smiling and
yeah, what do I look like?
He's like, oh my God.
It's true. Like I put on a lot of energy where I am that by the time I get home I'm like more coffee. Yeah, it's full on. Yeah, but thank you.
Oh, thank you. This is 91ASER. So that I don't know who that is.
It's a very real thing. I've been telling people for a long time now that working on some personal development or just some personal time to yourself. It could be anything. I mean, it could just be something that you enjoy doing. The gym can kind of fall into that somewhat, but the gym has. A lot of cases the gym has like too many other people and there's a lot going on, when you go in and train, you can't really concentrate. I think trying to find some time to yourself where you can concentrate on the message that's being portrayed. In this case, you were saying something like discipline or something along those lines. I mean, that's stuff I've been doing for a while, and it really just helps open your mind, and it helps you to be more enlightened about different things. It helps you to be like less judgmental because you're learning stuff from a different perspective. Something I learned when I did professional wrestling was that you didn't know something until it was taught to you. And I think that a lot of times people just take for granted, just think they're going to like know something. You could have an issue with a friend. It could be something small, like where you don't know why you don't click with that person or you don't understand what's going on. But if you listen to somebody who's an expert in something like that, or you find information on something like that, that could really help you grow as a person tremendously. And take you, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day of you sitting there listening to stuff. On top of that, it kind of resets your mind and resets your brain to have a better day.
Yeah.
So that's what that time is not allowing you to be in a shit mood for the day, right?
Yeah, and just like you said, like really listening to it and recognizing your own emotion and others, like why are people reacting in that way, like learning as much as you can. Like I could say that I came in here today and you had a filthy look on your face. You could have had like a fight with wifey before you came in, and you could have not had carbs for the day. Like, I don't know.
I've had no carbs.
Yeah, well, I don't know your situation. I could come in here and not understand why you are the way you are, and you could look at me and think that I'm some little blonde princess, not knowing that I've got 2 kids at home and I'm just trying my hardest. Like, learning how to relate to people is also learning how to understand people, I guess. And you don't just do that. You have to like educate yourself on that. That's not a natural thing to learn. So,
right. Well, Mr._Fountain says to tell you that you're a good representative for fitness in your country.
Nice.
And we have an inspiring comment from Thick Fit Mom, who is actually Stan Efferding's wife.
Girls. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Thick Fit Mom.
Thick Fit Mom.
So is she quite muscly?
She's what is she?
Samoan?
Pacific Islander.
I might be getting that wrong.
Oh, wow.
So sorry.
Strong.
She's very strong.
Yeah. Oh, is that her?
Yes.
Oh, wow. She is amazing. Look at those legs and those glutes. See, I like that thick. Like, I like that. That's like a really good representation. I used to chase the shredded look, and it's like some people have it, and that's great because they're genetically blessed, and other people like have to starve themselves for it and do a lot of work for it. And then I just think, oh, it's unmotivating. Yeah. To get like that, you still have to work, but it's a different kind of work, and I find that like.
No, it's interesting that you point that out because she was like literally she's just had that. She's been that way. I mean, she works her ass. She works really hard.
Yeah.
But she's just
Genetically working with what she has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She used to be a model, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. You probably will meet her at the Olympia because they live in Vegas. So,
Oh, perfect.
And it's not like Stan won't be at the show. So.
Yeah.
Come to my stand. Prime Ball
Yeah, and she's gotten better with age. You know, she just keeps looking better, and same with the Rhino, same with her husband. He's just getting in better shape and getting more jacked all the time.
Yeah.
The two of them together is a tough act to follow.
She makes me look like a puss bag. Oh my god.
A puss bag?
Is that an American thing here?
I'm into it.
Puss bag? Okay.
I'm into the puss bag.
Pussy bag.
Haven't heard it before, but that's.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna pick that one up.
You can Google that later and see what comes up.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I reckon a literal like pussy bag will like pop up.
Is my safe search on?
Could be a fleshlight. I don't know what's going to happen with that. What do you think the future of fitness holds? What do you think? Like, what do you you know the stuff that's going on now? Do you see that stuff kind of continuing? You mentioned you do some training. Online training is a really popular thing.
Yeah.
Do you see the gyms being any different? Or do you see anything being any different? Or you see trends just kind of continuing?
I think it's going to get bigger and bigger because I feel like even in the last 5 years, like when I was, say, fitness modeling, I feel like a few select people were doing it. Now I feel like it's, if you do fitness, you are a fitness model and you compete. Same with bodybuilders. I feel like it's becoming more and more normal and more popular, and I think that it will probably evolve even larger because it's the health industry. Like, it's forever going. It's not something that stops.
Yeah, people are more and more into it, and I saw, which I was not even aware, but Dana Lynn Bailey did a
she
power
competed.
meet,
Yeah,
and she kicked ass.
she did well, and my understanding is that she went 9 for 9.
She went crazy,
and she was being held back some, so that she would go 9 for 9.
She squatted 310 pounds, 310 pounds.
Yeah.
She benched over 200.
Yeah,
and she deadlifted like 370 or something. She did fucking great.
Yeah, she did great.
But she's got a few million followers, so it's...
And she was drug tested to everybody.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
And, you know, women like that, you know, competing in our sport, and women like yourself that have a big following, and women that look good, too. Women that are looking good and lifting good. I think it will just hopefully continue to bring more people into the sport. Yeah, 47 deadlifts?
347 deadlift, 209 bench, 309 squat.
Have you been to some of these trade shows before? Have you been to the Mr. Olympia before?
No, not
Have
here.
you guys been to Vegas before?
No.
Oh,
awesome.
You're in for it then.
Yeah. I'm not really a party girl, so I don't know how I'm going to go. Just fake it till I make
you'll
it.
like it.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll like some of it and you'll hate some of it. Like people smoking in the casinos and just that's gross. But
That's
for the most
challenging.
part you'll.
I'll put one of those Asian masks on.
Just be sure you drink a lot of water.
A lot
while
of
you're there.
water. De-stress.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Because your voice will go from the expo.
Oh, yeah.
Your voice will go if you don't stay on top of
I'll
the
just
water.
grab a foghorn to keep everyone
Are
away.
you at one booth pretty much the whole time? Or you?
I will be, yeah.
Who are you representing?
Primeval Labs. I like to call them Primeval Labs because I don't like saying evil. I shouldn't say that. It's Primeval Labs. Yeah.
Your mom gets upset about the evil.
No, I just
The
feel
evil part.
like I don't know. Well, just it's Prime Evil Labs. So yeah, I'll be with them all weekend. Well, it's only 2 days, isn't it? 2 days?
Yeah, just Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, so we're going to have fun at the booth and meet some people, and it's really exciting because they've brought me here today.
Are you like designated to be there for like certain hours, or are you just kind of hang there almost all day?
I reckon I'll just hang there, have a coffee, chill, so people know where to find me, I guess.
What I would suggest, you've been to some trade shows, right?
Yeah, in Oz.
Yeah. What I would suggest is to designate some break times for yourself.
Well, you see, the Arnolds back home, we would work from like 8 in the morning, like for the setup and like, you know, whatever, till like 5, 6 at night, straight, no breaks.
We're familiar with
So
that.
this will be, it's full on. And then you got, like you said, people grabbing at you and like,
I would reset yourself. Make your hubby be your bodyguard.
Yeah.
Reset yourself here and there.
Yeah,
you
good idea.
do stop being able to be your
You don't
best
wanna
self.
you don't want to have a poor representation of yourself.
Yeah.
Be snappy at somebody.
yeah, I'll say, sorry, I need pre-workout. Just wait.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, hold on, I need to listen to my headphones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we'll bring this one in for a crash landing.
Where can everyone find you?
On Steph Fit Mum on Instagram or Stephanie Sanzo Official on Facebook. And that's about it.
And that's about it.
And at the expo on the weekend.
And you have a
Primeval.
website too, right?
I do. www.stephaniesanzo.com.au.
There you go.
That's a mouthful. It's a long name.
Very cool. Well, it's awesome having you here at Super Training Gym. I look forward to training with you tomorrow, and thank you for doing the photo shoot and everything that you did today. I really appreciate that.
That's okay. Thanks for having me.
Multiply your hustle, multiply your muscle, and may all your shits be tapered. I'm at Mark Smellybell on Instagram and Twitter. Later.
Shout out to all of our sponsors, 8Man Strong Apparel at 8manstrong.com, bodybuilding.com for all of your supplement needs, Precision Nutrition at get.pn/powercast for your free nutrition course.
Peeking.
Compex USA for cutting edge muscle stim machines. Get an additional 28% off with code PowerCast. Reebok.com, the home of the legacy lifting shoe. I'm not sure that's gonna happen. Okay, timing wise, you could get 25% off if you use the code PowerCast through September 21st if this episode comes out before this. Otherwise, you'll never know because I will have cut it out. Increase your bench press at howmuchyoubench.net. Power, the only strength magazine, available in both digital and print at thepowermagazine.com. I'm the Jim McD on all the social medias. Follow the show on Instagram. We are at Mark Bell's PowerCast.
Lastly, go to Google and type in pussy bag.
Pussy bag.
Thank you very much.
You should do that right now.
Thank you. That was fun.
Thank you for having me.